Welcome on in to the NY to MD podcast with your host, Brian Hurt. Brian Hurt. What the heck? Whoa. Kevin Sherrod and Brian Hurt here. Or That's So Raven and then HTTFT.
What are you doing?
Dude, it's been a long week.
Can we get this right?
Hurt and Brian Sherrod.
It has been a long week, man.
It's been a long week, dude. It's been a long week. It was your birthday week.
Yeah.
So happy birthday.
Thank you.
Yeah, just a whole bunch of stuff this week. Sister's birthday, my brother's birthday.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it was my sister's birthday 2 days later. And she literally
hold on, then my brother's 2 days later after that. But yeah, go ahead.
And then your daughter's is 4 days later.
Yeah, 4 days later, yeah. So we gotta get somebody on Monday. We'll find somebody we know.
Yeah.
We'll see if we like it. Now it depends on if we like them or not. They won't include them.
Right. So it was funny, man. I love what my kids got me for my birthday, man. So what have I been talking about like all summer? What we actually talked about it on the podcast when Joelle was on the podcast, and I said I wanted to do something. Y'all thought I was crazy. My wife thought I was crazy. She said no way. But I've been just dying to do this. Don't remember?
Yeah, dude. You know I'm
hurt.
Short-term memory loss.
I've been trying to get my wife to agree to go camping. Right?
Oh yeah. That's why I forgot about it because I hated it. That's why.
Yeah.
Okay. I remember.
I was crazy. Joelle said, "What's wrong with you?" So my kids, you know what they got me for my birthday?
A camping kit.
They got me a tent.
Oh, okay.
My birthday. So, and it's nice. It can fit 6 people up in there too.
Wow. That's a for real tent.
Yes. So
wow.
So guess what, Hurt?
I don't know what.
I don't know when, but it's gonna happen. So
wait. You need to say you don't know when or you don't know how.
What do you mean?
Well, didn't you say or who's going camping again?
They got me the tent, so we go.
The kids got you the tent,
right? hey, they had mom's help, so
because A, she loves you. Okay. B, if the kids are excited about something, she'll sit there and help them out. Does not mean, as we know, it will not be vetoed in the end.
No, this ain't getting vetoed, son.
All right. Well, I mean, listen, you gotta, you can set it up in the backyard and start small and go from there.
Yeah.
That's the way it's the way I look at it. So because I'm still not camping in my backyard. It's funny, I was watching a show called Backyard Renovations.
They have a tent?
Okay, first of all, calm down. So second of all, so the guy makes them as he, talks to them about what he needs from them. Like he needs them to work with him. Like they're gonna be like, so you're not just hiring him, you're working with him, right? So he has you work with him to get the design. Then he has you spend the night out in a tent in the backyard.
Yeah.
So of course, the first one I saw, the family spent the night there. Next morning they woke up. They're like, "What is that noise?" Oh yeah, it was a rattlesnake. Like 10 yards away from the tent. And they're like, "We were sleeping in there. It was a for real rattlesnake. Wasn't a baby. It was a for real rattlesnake in the backyard."
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I'm just gonna go ahead and tell that story to the family. But yeah, dude, I saw that. But thank you everybody for tuning in. We're here live on YouTube, of course, through StreamYard, NYMD Podcast. We're on Facebook, we're on IG, we're on Twitter. We are everywhere. It's an exciting day because it's open to NFL. We're also on Man, I can't today. Maybe it's because I'm so excited football starting, and Premier League was back yesterday. But we're on iTunes, Spotify, iHeartRadio, wherever you find podcasts, you will find N1MD podcast. So you go ahead and talk the rest of the show because I can't seem to get my words together.
Well, like you said, Hurt, NFL starts today, man. Now,
Yep.
There was a time where I didn't think this day would come, but we're here.
Yeah.
And are you surprised? Like, I'm not surprised. I'm not. Look, the NFL said all along, we're full speed ahead. We're going to do it. But I think what's making this possible is, the teams have essentially been in a bubble. Training camp. There's been at the facilities and everything like that. They haven't had to travel yet. They didn't have preseason games. They haven't had to interact with any other teams. So they've essentially been in their own bubbles. But the testing has gotten better as well. And they're speed testing now. So I think that helps. So, yeah, man, hopefully they'll be able to play a full season. If there are any positive tests, they can probably quarantine these players. And just continue to test the players at a pace where they'll know if there's anybody else is infected. But yeah, it looks like it's going to happen, man. It looks like it's going to happen. It looks like we're going to get a full season. Let's hope. Keep our fingers crossed. But I think I'm finally starting to get excited. It's still, honestly, even though we had a game Thursday, which we'll talk about, it still seemed a little, I don't know, like I wasn't quite believing it. I don't know, man. But I am getting a little excited finally, though.
Oh, good. Well, of course, we're excited about having the NFL back today because I always knew especially if baseball came back, NFL is going to come back because they're basically the only ones that are traveling outside their normal areas. College football started back yesterday, so most two except for two conferences, but mostly everybody kind of started yesterday. I think the SEC starts next week. The SEC starts next week. So it doesn't. None of that surprises me at all. The NFL always wanted to come back. Remember, they were the ones that were just going through they did everything virtual, but they were doing a draft. They were just bulldozing everything. And then as the COVID and everything went along, they just kind of adjusted. So no training camps, no this. Andy Reid had his face shield. Harbaugh's like, I ain't doing that. It was like, yo, that dude was fogging up something heavy with that face shield on.
That was funny.
So there's going to be adjustments. Like I said, college football came back yesterday. There was a game between Virginia and Virginia Tech that was postponed over COVID.
Oh, really?
Yeah, there was there. So they had they moved the game to another weekend. So they had some. So that's and I feel like that's what's going to happen in all these sports. Go ahead.
Can you go into that a little bit more? So what were the like?
Yeah, well, a couple of Virginia Tech kids during the week tested positive for COVID.
Gotcha.
So so that game had to be postponed, and I feel like that's what's going to happen as we go along. People are just people are going to test positive. And they said there's rapid testing. Can you just take those people out, continue practicing? I believe that's what happened with one of the NFL teams, if I'm not mistaken. Maybe it's not NFL, it's another team where a couple of people had COVID and they've just been sitting out. And they haven't had really any contact, or they haven't had any contact with the rest of the team. But everybody else has been tested and everybody else is fine. So, there's going to be things like that occur. I think during the season, you just got to go roll along with it. You know what I mean? So, like Virginia Tech was moved. I think another college football game was moved. So, unless those things continue, I know the ACC said if we can continue the league as long as we have at least 8 teams to play. Which they have 15 now since Notre Dame's there, who played their first ACC game yesterday.
So we can continue the league as long as we have 8 teams. Yeah.
So if 7 of them have COVID issues, because of the scheduling, they can kind of make it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. They can just kind of make it work. Because again, this is a different type of year. But yeah, the NFL's back, the Premier League's back, college football's back, everybody's back. LeBron's back in a conference finals. Osaka's back in the finals. It just a whole lot of
Yeah, who's not
back? James Harden.
Nah,
He's back at home.
my girl Serena, man.
Oh yeah. You know what? Let's start. Let's start with that. So Naomi Osaka beat Azarenka yesterday, 6-1, 6-3, 6-3 in the finals of the U.S. Open. The reason you hear Osaka and Azarenka is because Azarenka ended up beating Serena in the semifinals. Serena won the first set and lost the next two.
She dominated. She dominated the first set, man.
Yeah, well, I mean, but as you can tell, it doesn't. I mean, it matters, but people come back. Like Osaka lost the first one 6-1 as well, and came back and won the U.S. Open 6-3, 6-3. So Azarenka did the same thing. The thing with Serena is that she's lost, I don't know, 7 of her last finals or something crazy like that. And she gets there. You know, she gets there. She may have her ups and downs, but she gets to the semifinals, to the final, and that's when she crashes out. So she's one away from Margaret Court's record of 24. She currently has 23. I still think that there's going to be a day when she comes up and she gets 24. I don't know when that's going to be. I think she turns 38 or 39 this year.
No, she's 39. So
no, she turns 39. She's not 39 yet.
I thought they said, "Wow, does she?" Okay, maybe I thought she's 39. But anyway, either way, man. First of all, that's ancient in tennis years, man.
Yeah, yeah.
And she's still. I mean, physically, she still has it. You know what I mean? But yeah, I was thinking as I was watching her match, like how much longer is she gonna go? But it doesn't look like she's slowing down. You know what I mean? She can get that 24, but she's got.
Yeah, she's been error prone. Again, there's better players. Players come up and
right. That's exactly.
Yeah, it almost like she had that, especially during the part of her career. She had that Tiger Woods factor. Like people are just afraid to go out there and compete against them because they're just so fierce.
Yeah.
But now you have a whole bunch of kids like Osaka. I mean, even though she beat Sloane Stephens during her run to get to the semifinals, those kids aren't afraid of her.
Yeah.
You know, they see her and they admire her and they know who she is, but they also see her as an obstacle to get to where they gotta go. When before people were just like, look at Sharapova. She couldn't beat Serena if she had 2 other people out there on the court with her. She's just intimidated. She just couldn't do it. Yeah. And certain people were just intimidated just by the way she played. And but kids today aren't. And she's faced Azarenka. That was actually Azarenka's first time beating her in a major. So it's, again, like you said, she won the first set 6-1 and then lost the next 2, 6-3, 6-3. I don't know if it's fatigue. I don't know what it is when it gets there. It's just she's missing. I don't know if it could be. This could be confidence. She's just missing that part to where she just folds. It's just weird. I really.
Something happened in the middle of that second set. I don't. It was almost like she just lost it. Like it was strange, man. Because I feel like she was in control until somewhere in that second set, something just is almost like I don't want to say she lost her focus. It was just weird. It was weird, man. It was it was really weird. But you gotta give Azarenka credit, man. She put it to Serena, and it's like she put the foot on the pedal and just roll with it, man. So so I give her credit. And now I missed Osaka and Azarenka. You got to give it to Osaka, man. How many majors is this for her now?
This is number 3.
Okay, so
she has her second U.S. Open.
She has 2 U.S. Opens, and what was the other one she won?
Australia.
And when did she win that one? Because
that was like last year.
Last year, okay, okay. By the way, what's her and Serena's relationship?
They're cool. That little meltdown from, I guess, a couple years ago now. Mm-hmm. That happened wasn't addressed towards her. Of course, they both know that, but it's very cool. They're two tennis players on the tour, but they're still very, I'm going to say, close. I don't think Serena's close with anybody on the tour besides her sister. But no, that's not true. She was cool with another tennis player who I forgot but she wasn't that good, that girl. But her and Naomi are cool. Like they see each other, they talk, laugh, or whatever. So they have a perfectly fine relationship.
Okay, I just wanted, because I know Osaka grew up idolizing her, and then when that stuff went down, the U.S. Open a couple of years ago, I didn't know if that kind of,
Yeah. No, it was because Serena has had issues with umpires at the U.S. Open. So and Naomi knew that, and it wasn't like a thing where it kept on. And Naomi was younger, and she's matured so much in those last 2 years. From when she's done that. Like I was telling my wife, like once Serena retires, I'm 100% behind Naomi. She's so mature. She's thoughtful. Like I said, she's been going out there with her mass of all the victims of police violence, and giving them a name, keeping their name in the media, keeping their name out there. And I know Ahmaud Arbery's parents called and thanked her. She had Fernando Castile on the other day. She's just keeping these names out there. She's fighting. She's it's so cool to see a 22-year-old, that generation just kind of, not say take over, but just kind of step up,
Yeah.
But so yeah, good for her. I think a couple other. I think the French Open maybe later this year or something. So yeah, we'll see. But I think Serena's still going to get one to tie. I don't know if she's going to get 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 or 6. I think it may just be one more. But she just has to put it together. The thing about Serena, like you were saying, when she unravels, she used to be able to pull it back together.
Yeah.
It's hard for her to pull it back together now. Players stay on her. There's none of that. Oh, here she comes back. Once she hits that shot and she roars, other players just like, okay. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Before it used to just, she roared and she roared back and then she won. And that's just not the case now.
Yeah.
But, it's still good tennis. I'm glad they won. The men's finals between 2 people I don't care about, so we're not even going to talk about that.
Okay.
Yesterday, Premier League was one of the rare times where Arsenal, the New York Mets, and Florida State played on the same day, which that's rare. At least 1 out of 3 won. At least Arsenal won 3-0. We beat Fulham. So that's a good thing. The Mets lost 3-2, and Florida State lost to Georgia Tech 16-13. So that's my Kevin Sports Report for today. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.
For tuning in. Of course, and speaking of college football, today your conference is voting on whether to bring back football, man. What do you think? Because these Ohio State parents, and the kids, they want to play.
Football's coming back to the Big Ten. There's no question.
Big Ten football is back, folks.
Yeah, it's coming back. Okay. They're going to have their season opener in 4 weeks, and that's that. I mean, the thing with this is, I've thought about this long and hard, and at first I was like, nah, we shouldn't be playing football. But 2 things kind of swayed me into the other direction. A, they're letting kids on campus, okay? So these college campuses are letting kids on campus. I mean, why not have a football season? Secondly, Major League Baseball has impressed me because there's been no bubble, right? They travel, they test. I guess I don't know how often they test, but they have testing that they do often enough where they know if their players are getting infected. So the scary thing about football is the contact. Baseball, MLB, it's a socially distanced. I mean, social distancing is kind of built into the sport. Mm.
Football
is totally different. But I'm to the point, Herb, where I'm like, you know what? Let's just try it. Try it. You have your testing. Somebody gets infected, just quarantine those players. Try it. And if like what happened with what you said, Virginia Tech, was it?
Yeah, Virginia Tech, Virginia.
Yeah. Okay, there were a couple positive cases. Okay, you know what? Let's postpone it. At this point, let them play. The players want to play. If they have to sign waivers or whatever, fine. Let them sign waivers to play. If give the players the option out, just like the NFL did and the MLB did. But just try it, man. Just might as well. And my thing is, you still can save your season if you start in October. You can still have a 7 to 8 game season. Why not? What are your thoughts on this?
I think they're coming back. I think there's a lot of pressure It's such, and again, it's such a big conference when it comes to football. Michigan, Ohio State's, Wisconsin's, Michigan. I mean, those schools are perennial football powers, and you got Harbaugh barking every day about we should be back playing. Ryan Day, Ohio State head coach, talking about we should be back playing. Just Wisconsin, Barry Alvarez, athletic director. You have all these people. Again, and this decision is made by the college presidents.
Right.
By the Big Ten presidents. It's not made by the athletic directors. It's not made by the commissioner of the Big Ten. It's strictly the presidents of each university who come together and vote. So, but the fact is, the kids want to play. And if they're willing to come back and play, then they should. And again, it's up to them. The thing is, too, the big Pac-12 and Big Ten, because they always play the Rose Bowl, are two, I'm going to say, they have a relationship when it comes to that. So the Pac-12, it says we're closely monitoring what the Big Ten does. Because, again, they're kind of aligned in a lot of, sports.
Yeah, I think
specifically football.
Yeah, I think the difference with the Pac-12 though is that they're in states where, like a lot of the teams are like in California, Oregon, all that stuff, where I think the rules and regulations are different when it comes to openings and stuff like that. So I think the Pac-12 has to consider that too. Like,
oh yeah, and I mean, in all honesty, not to cut you off, but these fires
right
that are happening out there may even impact some of these football games,
right?
Yeah. NFL games. So that's another thing that they would have to, consider. Honestly, just have the proximity to, like you said, all those universities, Cal, Stanford, UCLA, USC,
right?
So. I mean, it's I'm hoping, and those fires are all the way up in Oregon too. So I don't know how close they are to Oregon State. So yeah, it's something that they definitely have to think about.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but yeah, we'll see. But yeah, I think that the votes today we'll find out. Of course, we'll report about it and tweet about it. And it's an NYMD podcast on the Twitter.
The Twitter.
Yeah, on the Twitter. But let's go to the main story, man.
What's that?
LeBron James is going back to a conference final. This is his first Western Conference final.
Yeah.
And dude, can we please just end Houston? I know I'm not, the meanest. I am the meanest guy probably on the show, but I don't want to see. I'm not the biggest James Harden fan. Maybe that's what I'm trying to say. I'm not saying he's not a good player, doesn't deserve the MVP and the props and all that. Let's just end small ball. These experiments, the blowing up of, as in like inflation of egos and predictions for Houston. Let's just stop, please. I'm done. This style is not going to win anything. It's not going to go to a conference final. It fizzles out. Can we just stop?
So, okay. So what has happened in Houston the last 3-4 years? Is this an indictment on D'Antoni, an indictment on Harden, the organization? Who's this an indictment on?
Yes.
All of them.
Everybody. I think Harden is the guy. And I think during the regular season, he does what he does. He scores his 30, gets his assists, travels 5-6 times a game, gets all those foul calls, bumps into people, all that type of stuff. And he will get you a winning record. The dude is that good. I mean, he'll hit his shots and score his points. James Harden is hard to stop. The dude is hard to stop. But when we get into the playoffs, it's like anybody else. It's like Giannis. You could smother them, and then if everybody else isn't doing what they're supposed to do, they're going to lose. But it happens every year to Houston. Every year, James Harden gets to this point. He's done a little bit better, like scoring-wise. Sometimes there's James Harden doesn't even show up. Like, we've seen James Harden score like single digits in like an elimination game. And we're sitting here like, where did he go? You know, last night he had 30. He did his thing, but Westbrook, the only thing Westbrook did was got Rajon Rondo's brother thrown out, and that was it. I mean, he didn't do anything else. I don't know. It's just not going to. That's the only thing I say. It's not going to work. If that team they ran into the Lakers, even if they ran into the Clippers, it wasn't going to work. It's just not going to work. I'm done with it.
To me, this is I think it's an indictment on all of them, but it's more of an indictment on Hart, man. I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is about him. Like one of the greatest scorers, you know what I mean, that the NBA has seen, but I don't know, something about him, man. And like to me, what was the playoffs when Chris Paul got hurt? Was that last year?
I don't even remember.
To me,
he was on the team though. He was on the team. I think I'm not sure. Yeah, he got hurt like I think in a couple series, but they still ended up losing, of course. But then they traded him in all season. But I can't really remember which one he was. I don't even know how many seasons he was in Houston. I think just 2, maybe.
Yeah, I'm just trying to think. I just don't. It just seems like every playoffs he comes up short. It was last year's playoffs when the Warriors got hurt. That's what I'm thinking about. I think, right? Weren't they playing the Warriors and some people got hurt, like Durant or something like that, and they couldn't even get past. I don't know. I can't remember.
It's so weird. Yeah,
but every year, man.
I know what you're talking about. Like all those guys. I think Clay or like a lot of people were hurt on Golden State and they still couldn't beat them.
Okay. Like what? I don't understand. Like. I don't know. Like you said, I don't know, and I don't know how you fix Houston. I mean, you don't want to get rid of. Of course, you don't want to get rid of Harden, but man, what do you?
I mean, yeah, but what would you replace him with? Like they really built that whole team around him, and that team's been again regular season successful. You know, they've gone to the playoffs, but when they're in the playoffs, they flamed out.
Yeah,
it's every single year. The crazy thing is they almost mirror the Texans in the playoffs. Yeah, I don't know. And Bill O'Brien, I think, is the same person as Mike D'Antoni. So yeah, I don't know. But yeah, LeBron goes back. We have game 6 tonight of the Nuggets and Clippers. So if the Clippers do beat the Nuggets tonight, it'll be their first ever Western Conference Finals trip.
Wow.
In franchise history. So, and then that'd be the matchup we all were waiting for, Lakers Clippers. But we'll see because Denver again has put up a fight. But we got the Eastern Conference Finals all set, man.
Yeah, but wait, before we go there, can we let's just talk about LeBron real quick because all the naysayers were coming in when who beat him in the first round? Portland, first game. Oh no!
Yeah, Charles Barkley brought the broom out.
What? Right. Then Lakers lose game 1 in this series. Oh man, Houston's going to put up a fight. What did I say last week? I said I had 3 words: Lakers in 6. Okay, yeah. I was off by 1. Look, LeBron,
and they dominated the Rockets too.
Just watching the game, like LeBron. Man, this guy's so good. Do not ever count LeBron out. This guy's good. He elevates the team. He elevates whatever team he's on. He takes players and elevates their game so much, man. And I predicted it was going to be a Toronto Clippers finals, man. And it's a LA matchup is going to be tough. But I'm not. You know what? I'm not. I don't know if I could bet against LeBron, man. He is awesome. Remember I was telling you the other day how even though this guy's like 35 years old, it seems like his physical skills don't seem to be diminishing, man. Yeah. Like I saw one dunk he did, man, where he had to like adjust himself like while he's in the air. He had to avoid someone, adjust himself, double clutch, and still dunk like how does this guy do this stuff? So I just give him so much credit, man, because it's almost like he is willing this team, man, to playoff success, and it's cool to watch, man.
Yeah. It's still, I mean, the Clippers are going to be the litmus test. If he loses to Kawhi, all those people you're talking about, the naysayers, they're going to be right back. They were going to be right back there, ready to pounce on whatever legacy that they want to pounce on with him. You know what I mean?
I don't think that's fair though, because if they lose to the Clippers, that's not an indictment on LeBron, because he's going up against a good team. He's going up against a guy who's got, who just won a championship last year. He's going up against a guy who does the same thing he did. Kawhi willed his team to playoff destiny last year. I mean, the championship last year. He's going up against a great guy. You know what I mean? So it's not like, if LeBron loses, it's no shame in that, man. Kawhi
there's shame.
This guy's a great player. You know what I mean?
Kawhi got his MVP from guarding LeBron in the finals when he was in Miami.
No, this is just like
Kawhi. Hold on. Kawhi took to Toronto, put him on his back, got him to the finals, and got an MVP. Took him there. He takes the Clippers. Never been this far. If they beat Utah, of course. Get to there, then he beats LeBron again to get to that point, and say the Clippers go and win a championship. That's three, I think maybe three rings for Kawhi.
Yeah, he has 3 rings.
He has 3 now, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so that'd be ring number 4,
I believe.
Yeah, for some reason, but it'll be his 3rd franchise that he won a ring with. Something that LeBron's trying to do. So, and he would do it while eliminating LeBron, and LeBron's only getting older. And so it'd just be like, well, he got the best of LeBron again. Believe me, I know how all these arguments happen because I usually argue against them. But that's what's going to be the narrative if LeBron gets this far and loses to Kawhi. I don't care if it's at 7 and 6, 5, or 4. That they're going to it's going to hurt his legacy.
All I'm saying, there's no shame if he loses to Kawhi. That's like when Peyton and Brady went up against each other. Sometimes Peyton. And I'm talking about in the playoffs. Sometimes Peyton beat Brady. Sometimes Brady beat Peyton. Man, there's no shame in that. So
no, I mean, I get what you're saying, but I'm just know how people will frame the argument, so to speak. Because I picked the Clippers to go to the finals because just their team is better. The bench is better. Now, I'm not saying LeBron isn't LeBron. And AD needs to be AD, but it takes more than one person to win a championship. But just in case people didn't know, it takes more than one person. And everybody has to step up. So LeBron could have a triple-double every game. They'll still blame him for losing. That's all. This is how we do it.
Yeah.
So Lakers, Houston needs to go. Let's get to the Eastern Conference Finals. I need it now. I need your picks. Miami, Boston. I know you're excited about it. I can tell. Jimmy Butler, Tatum, what you got?
I'm taking Boston.
And
I have no analysis for you. I really don't care about this matchup. The East, I can't watch. No, I shouldn't say I can't watch. The Eastern Conference is just whack. Look, I respect the Heat. For they took out.
They've only lost 1 game.
Yeah, I got mad respect for the Heat, but and I'm gonna take. Dude, I'm not watching this series. I am not watching this series.
Hey, that's what I said about Utah, Denver, and it was pretty good.
Well, I'm not watching. Look, I got much respect for Eric Spoelstra. A lot of respect for Jimmy Butler, man. He's
respect for Spo.
Yeah, man. A lot of respect for Jimmy Butler. What he's done. The Heat. Hey. Much respect, man. I'm not watching. I'm not watching that. So yeah, I'm just gonna pick Boston.
I'm gonna pick Boston in 7. I think Miami has a heart. I just think Boston has a talent, and Boston will go to another final. I mean, they've got 17. I think the Lakers have 16. There's nothing be better than a Boston Lakers final. You can't, and then the Lakers can try to go and match and tie Boston for the most championships in the NBA. So that would be an epic thing.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Yeah, not saying it's going to happen because I have no idea at this point, but I'm picking Boston at 7.
All right.
Man, you just tearing down the East.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of tearing down, I'm about to tear down somebody and defend somebody.
Oh.
So NFL's back, of course, today, as we all know, because we've said it numerous times.
Right.
Mostly all the teams played. Of course, we had to. After this, we're gonna break down the KC Houston game. But this week, Dak Prescott came out and was talking about how he was going through depression. He had an interview, I think a long form interview with someone, and he talked about how he's going through depression due to COVID, and then also the loss of his brother, whom none of us knew, who passed away due to suicide. So we all know Dak is the quarterback of the football team in Texas, the main one, so to speak.
The Arlington football team?
Yes, the Arlington football team.
Okay.
And they have a lot of fans, that team, for some reason. I mean, there's a lot of things that are just weird. But one of their fans happens to work on, was it Fox Sports, I think it is?
Fox.
Yeah, it works on Fox Sports. And that's Skip Bayless. And Skip Bayless, as this topic came up between him and Shannon Sharp on their show, said, before it all started, I have an unpopular opinion, basically get into knowing that what he's going to say was wrong. But I'm going to further that. Not only what he said was wrong, it was incomprehensible. it was borderline. I don't just past ignorance. And basically what he said was, because again, Dak was being very vocal. He came out and saying one of the reasons that he's coming out is because his brother didn't. His brother didn't say anything. He held all those things that he felt wrong inside of him. And Skip, said, as this guy being an NFL quarterback, being the leader of Central America's team, needs to not talk about these things, and he needs to hold these things in and lead the team, because he has a responsibility to his teammates and everyone else to be the best leader. And basically, this makes him soft. Now, as you know, I played you played the audio. I told you about it. You played the audio.
Yeah, I couldn't believe it, man.
Yeah, and then the next day, he was talking about. I didn't even listen. I know the next day he was talking about some of his comments. I've never been a Skip Bayless fan, and not only because he's a Cowboys fan, but I just don't agree with most of what he says, or some of what he says. This is the most asinine commentary about a human being. I don't care if he's quarterback for any NFL team, even if it was the Ravens or the Vikings or the Seahawks or Washington. The man has gone through something, and he's speaking about it. He's speaking his truth. He's letting people know, people aware, fans of his, who know now of what he's gone through, and also may have been going through the same thing. You know how powerful it is when someone that you say even idolize or cheer for has gone through something in their life, and they divulge it to you publicly? You know that makes a huge difference to people?
Absolutely.
But you're telling this guy that he needs to basically hold it all in for wins on the football field because it makes you tougher? Are you kidding me?
Because he's the leader of the America's football team, and he doesn't want that to come off as lack of leadership. So, first of all, it's really what Skip Bayless did was borderline irresponsible. We talk about this all the time. There's a major problem with mental illness. There's a stigma that we need to break that goes along with mental illness, so that people can talk. When people are going through these things, they actually talk about it and get help. That's the problem. Nobody ever wants to talk about this stuff and get help for it. And here you have a guy, like you said, a quarterback of a football team, right? An NFL team who's coming out and openly talking about this in order to help people. You know what I'm saying? The only reason why you make this known is because, hey, there could be someone out there who's going through the same thing I went through. Yeah. I want to let them know they're not alone and that you can get help. Otherwise, bad things can happen. Don't hold this in. Make sure you talk about it. I'm going to tell the world. And Skip Bayless is going to say, it's going to call this man pretty much saying this man soft. Yep. And that he's not a leader. Are you kidding me? We have got to stop this. We have got to stop this, man. Look, this stuff is serious, man. Whenever anybody is going through something, don't be afraid to get help. Don't be afraid to speak up and talk about this. But it's people like Skip Bayless, when people do talk about it, you make them feel bad. Nobody's going to want to. You know what I'm saying? Speak up about these things. Yeah. So that was borderline irresponsible what he did. It took courage for Dak to do that, and it shows immense strength and leadership. And trust me, that's going to speak to his team, dude. Can you imagine being on this team, right? Like, man, I can't believe he spoke. I would have so much respect for this dude, man. And because he did that, now I feel like, you know what? I could probably come to him, not just on a football level, but on a personal level, you know what I'm saying? And strengthen my bond with him. And this man's going to say, it shows like a leadership, just holding it. No, that is the problem. That is the problem. We cannot do this. And it sends such a bad message, man. So it's just really disappointing, man. He does not get it. And then he's going to relate it to stuff that he did. Okay, that's how you handled it. Okay, but we're not all robots. You know what I'm saying? We're not the same. So yeah, man. It just is very disappointing, and like I said, really irresponsible, I think, for Skip to have done that, man.
No, it's very irresponsible. You don't have a national TV show. This man has suffered and gone through a lot. And you're telling him that you just need because football. Because of football, he's like Shannon said, this dude's a human being first. Who cares? If he decided to step away today to go and take care of himself or his family or mental, dude, I respect it. I don't care what team he plays for. Right. Even disrespect as a black man, as hard as it is for us to, as we are basically raised by society to hold everything in. Yep. Period. For him to come out and say, because you and I talk a lot, besides your show, we talk a lot, but there's still things that are still inside. They're like, I can't even talk about these things. Right. And this man had the courage and the strength to come out. That's a leader to me. That would make me follow him more, like you were saying. Yeah. I would have his back. Right. And then, like, in a way, which is weird, like I'm rooting for him, I can't root for that team. But I want him to succeed in life. I want him to be okay. I don't want this to get on him. And then, because think about hearing, he wrote something did happen. He wrote a suicide note. He held it all in because he wanted to do it for a football team. Are you serious right now? Just think about what you're saying.
Right.
And this is why I just feel like just people like him just make it hard for athletes to speak up or to say anything because they get ridiculed and thrown under the bus. How are you going to throw somebody under the bus for speaking the truth and honesty about how they feel? Period.
Right.
Especially when it's personal. It's not like he's sitting here giving his personal opinion on something. He's telling you what is going on with him. Period.
Right.
Yeah. And this is what he gets. And as a fan of the team, you're supposed to support him. Period. And what he's going through. Not sit there and like, well, that makes you less of a football player and less of a leader. Again, I could disagree with how somebody does something as compared to what I do, but I'm not going to sit there and say, well, he needs to do it for the betterment of a team. Get out. I can't. Man. I can't, man. Man, I'm glad I've calmed down because the weeks has been crazier as the weeks gone along. But I'm telling you, man, I was on 20 when I heard that because it made me sick to my stomach to hear an adult on television who talks to millions of people basically saying to someone, you should have kept your suicidal thoughts to yourself. Man, please.
Yeah.
Before I say something else. Okay. Let's go back to football.
Yes.
But on the field.
Yes.
So this Thursday was the welcome back party, so to speak. of the NFL, Houston and Kansas City, and I'm not even going to talk about the unity thing symbol because I'll go in on those fans that were there. Which, by the way, a little bit too many fans for my liking, and they're a little bit too close. And also, maybe it's just me, but if not everybody can have fans, I don't think everybody should have fans. I don't think, you know what I'm saying? Because
I'm with you.
Because if you heard that game, dude, they were loud.
Well, I don't think they were loud. I just think that I think what happens on TV is that when you don't have a whole lot of people, when they do make sounds, it's a little bit more noticeable.
Okay, I'll take your word for it. But I mean, I remember there was a false start that happened early in the game, and those fans were just, rah, and it was like, man, like, can they even hear? Can he hear like that? You know how it usually affects the quarterback talking to whatever. Like, did it really affect that offside? No. You know what I mean? It just seemed like it was. But my whole thing is, if Kansas City or whoever or Baltimore can't have fans, no one else. Yeah. It should be equal for everybody.
Yeah, I don't. When you have 15,000, okay, if your stadium normally fits like 60 to 70,000 and you have like 15,000 in there, I don't think crowd noise is going to be a factor. But what I do think is a factor is just energy. At least there's an energy. There's some type of energy there. Okay, it might, you know what I mean? Sorry about that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like energy on that phone.
Yeah, exactly. No, but I think there's a pulse. There's some type of pulse there in the stands. Whereas when the Ravens play today, there's going to be absolutely no pulse. There's no energy, none to feed off of. When they get that first down, there's going to be no cheering. When we need to make a stop on 3rd and 1, there's nothing. Yeah. So I'm with you. I really don't understand why some teams can have fans, while some teams other. I still think even though it's not the same advantage, I'm with you. I do think it's advantage when you have your stadium at 10 to 25% capacity, and I think it's an advantage for the home team. And
definitely.
And the thing is, all states are different, and they have to go by what the government standards and rules and protocols are. And I just think it is kind of an unfair advantage where you have some teams that have fans and some that don't. So I'm in total agreement with you.
Yeah, like I said, it's just something that if others can't fully have their people there, then I just kind of feel like it's just how it should be. You know what I mean?
Yep. But that being said, it didn't matter for Kansas City, man.
Oh no, not one bit. Because again, it was. I think if I'm not mistaken, I do believe that the first touchdown was Houston's, right?
Yeah, David Johnson, man.
Yeah, David Johnson came in, and they were looking pretty good, and then Kansas City became Kansas City again.
Yeah,
but good.
No, but you know what that game looked like to me? That game looked like, honestly, Houston was in preseason mode, man. They didn't look like they were ready. Look, I give Kansas City's defense credit, but it just looked like a preseason game for Houston, and it looked like week 3 for Kansas City.
Yeah, well, also, especially for Hilaire. Yeah. That dude came in there and just ran like he's been on the team forever. Yeah. Another thing for Houston as well, when you can have all the practices and those scrimmages you want, there's no DeAndre Hopkins.
Yeah,
I really felt like that dude was looking for somebody. And you know who I found that was on the team? You told me he was still on Dallas. That I found out he was on Houston.
Randall Cobb.
Randall Cobb, dude. I was like, I didn't see him until the fourth quarter, and neither did Deshaun.
Yeah,
but who's on that team?
Dude, I don't know what they're going to do, man. Because
what they're going to do is not go to the playoffs. That's what they're going to do.
Yeah,
that's how I feel.
I don't know. I would like to think that Deshaun could kind of will that team to the playoffs, but we'll see.
Yeah, he's been willing them for a while. The dude got his money. We'll get into these contracts soon. But man, who's out there? Hey, again, Fuller gets hurt. Brandon Cooks It's his fourth team in 7 years.
And both of those receivers are going to get hurt.
I mean, there's without a shadow of a doubt.
Yeah, and history tells us they will get hurt. And history, well, I don't want to predict this, but they may even get hurt at the same time, man.
Yeah, we all know they're going to miss time.
Yes.
Period. And it's just
Brandon Cook scares me, man, with his concussion history, man. I don't know how that dude's still playing football, but
yeah, it's like it reminds me of Percy and
his headaches.
His headache with his migraines.
Yeah.
You know, like that dude, it was the only Gator I ever really liked. Because I had him on my fantasy team like all the time.
Yeah, you always
I always miss games. I had to check like 10 minutes before game time, like how is he feeling? Is his head okay today?
But he always seemed to play though.
He always seemed to play, and he played well. Like the dude, you know, Percy was always Percy, and I give him that.
Yeah.
So I wish Percy. He probably wish he was playing in this league and these people getting paid. But this week, almost every position got paid.
Yeah, man. It was like because first, who's
raining money?
Yeah, the first
was it DeAndre?
Well, no, the first one I saw was who was it? The dude because the second one was Kamara, but who was before Kamara? And I was like, Dalvin Cook.
No, that one wasn't before Kamara. It was after Kamara.
I saw Dalvin Cook's first, then I saw because I saw Dalvin's first. I was like, oh, okay, he got this, and then I saw Kamara. I was like, whoa, he got 75. It was almost like he got one up by Dalvin.
But DeAndre got his,
and then DeAndre got his money.
Yeah, and
Deshaun. No, this was yesterday. Somebody else.
I know. I'm saying, but in between like contracts, I don't think between last show and now we talked about Deshaun's contract because I don't think it happened yet.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, so Deshaun got his first.
Yeah,
and his family called in. It was so good to see his family call in and get emotional and just talk about that. Like I love seeing that, man.
Yeah.
So he got that, and DeAndre got which is funny. Then DeAndre got his money, which he wanted in Houston. Yep. He got Arizona, and then he probably saw how that team performed without him, and was like, "Yep, look what you got."
Dumb.
You know, and then like you said, Kamara got his, and Dalvin got his. So it's I don't know any of the real specifics, but you know who didn't get paid yet?
Who's that?
Dak.
Yo, let me tell you something. Jerry he's so stupid. Yo, Dak is going to cost him so much more money now, man.
Like, I really hope Dak has a really good year and they don't win a Super Bowl.
Right.
But I really and I hope he leaves. I think they could franchise him again for another year or something crazy, which is going to be like $40 million.
He's
some crazy number. But I really hope that dude decides or really feels like they don't want me here. I'm out. I really, you know.
No, Jerry screwed this up, man. They could have had him. This kind of reminds me of the way the Redskins treated Captain Kirk, man.
The football team.
Yeah, thank you.
You're welcome.
The way they treated Captain
Kirk. What I'm here for.
Yeah, man. It's like they're screwing this up. But like you said, Dak's going to get so much more money, especially if he has a bang-up year this year. They should have just paid him, man. But, hey, I don't got to worry about it.
Yeah, according to you, he's going to be MVP. So that dude's going to have
I firmly believe that Prescott's going to be MVP this year, man.
No, but honestly, it's as a human being, because I can look at people as humans and not as cowboys. I can compartmentalize that way. I'm rooting for him as a person.
Yeah,
I really do hope he's mentally okay, and you know he comes out and you know I believe me, I know he'll throw like 4 touchdowns, but I hope he does meet Chase Young a couple times. So yeah, but yeah, man, today's the day. So you know we gotta talk about these games today. I know you have something new coming along that we're gonna do each and every week.
Yeah,
but just I want to talk to you about just your feeling. You know, your team's playing Cleveland. Just your feeling on your thoughts of your team. Are you excited now? Because you know how you've been kind of I didn't care about baseball, and now you know you're watching your O's lose to us during the week after y'all beat us. We always seem to split now. Before we dominated, now it's like you win, we win, you win, we win.
By the way, real quick before we get into football, a couple things. So we played the Mets. The Orioles played the Mets. that catch, that what's his name, Michael Conforto? Is that
Michael Conforto.
That literally.
That saved the game.
Yeah, but not only that, we have not been the same since. Since he made that catch, we've only scored 3 runs.
Really?
Lost 4 games in a row. We had a double hitter on Friday, which, first of all, I knew we were going to get swept because, I'm a real big believer in sports destinies. But I was like, there's no way the Orioles are winning the game in New York on 9/11. I'm sorry. It just ain't happening. And we got swept. We lost yesterday 2-1. We got the Yanks again today. It's whatever. Our playoff hopes, we had hope there for a second. We were half game out earlier in the week, but ever since Conforto made the catch, which I don't know how, he ran full speed over the shoulder and had to leap. I don't understand how he made that catch. So anyway, that's all I have to say.
Yeah, it was a good catch, but it's good for our teams to face each other and that we split the games. I always love when the Mets and Orioles play.
Yeah, man. Yeah,
but,
I have no hate for the Mets, man.
No, good. I mean, because you didn't like all the fans that one year, but I'm glad you got over that.
Yeah.
So, but good.
I'm glad we gotten over that.
Yeah.
Every time you bring it up, every time you bring it up, I get this picture in my head of.
Well, you know what? That's a good. What's worse, seeing all the Mets fans at Camden Yards when we played, or seeing the football team's fans dancing around Ray Lewis's statue?
The Mets.
Really? Why? I know because
you know what it was, Hurt. No, I don't have any problems with Mets fans, honestly. Yeah. And I'm so used to Yankees and Red Sox fans infiltrating our stadium and taking over. It was
all the time,
right? Or at least back then they did. But what got me was I was in complete shock because for whatever reason, like I expected Yankees fans and Red Sox, I had no idea that Mets fans was going to be rolling in that deep, and it just shocked me. And I know it's New York, I get it, but dude, I was in complete shock. I couldn't believe it. And it's nothing against the team. Like I said, I have no, but y'all was so deep in there, man.
We have our own fan base. Yeah,
I couldn't believe it.
Yeah, I mean,
you felt right at home. You had Mets walking up to you, giving high fives, and
I was having conversations.
Yeah, I was
sitting next to Mets fans everywhere.
We couldn't even get to our seats because we were getting stopped by so many Mets fans. I was like, what is going on? No, what you should have asked me is what was worse, the pom-poms in the face or the Mets fan?
Well, the pom-poms was worse than dancing around Ray Lewis. I don't know if you're really going to take
that day in that bar, that Redskins, the Washington football team bar, that was an experience, man. It's weird. You're in Ravens country, but you're surrounded by Redskins fans, and we were.
It's in downtown Baltimore.
We were beating y'all, and y'all came back that day.
That was the RG3's leg getting eaten up by Haloti Nada.
Yeah, that was. I don't know, but those were fun times. Those were fun, man. I always like chilling with you. On enemy territory. That's pretty fun, man.
Yeah, it was fun when I went to watch Washington play at Baltimore.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and that was, as of course, we won that one too. So that was fun. So I just think we should keep now. We're banned from going to the one we're going to have this year. So this one doesn't count. So I heard we were going to get killed, but this one doesn't count because we won't be able to be together to watch it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So then we're not counting this one because it's going to be a blowout. Let me tell you. But so it's I'm not as you are. I'm not as excited about the season starting. Not just due to the prospects of the team or anything. Just I just want Daniel Snyder gone. I just really want him gone.
You say you're not as excited?
No.
Well, that's how I feel though. I'm not.
Yeah, but I was excited for baseball. Like I was like, I can't wait.
Yeah, you and I was.
But even for I'm like, I got things to do today. Like I feel like I'm just gonna do those things. Like I'm excited. Like in the background, Premier League's back. I'll watch Premier League all day.
Yeah, you're more pumped up about Premier League.
Oh my God, it was so good yesterday. The Leeds United Liverpool game was insane.
Yeah, that's nice. Let's see. This year we're doing
you gotta get closer to the screen back out. We can all close and personal now. Like, all right, everybody, forget Leeds United and Liverpool, which was the 4-3 barn burner of a game. Okay.
All right. So this year we're going to do something a little bit different. So we made our picks on the podcast every week, but this time we're actually going to keep track.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Because I'm sick and tired of you saying you're right all the time, which isn't true. So we're going to make our picks.
You know what? You are 100% right about that. I'm not always right, but I'm mostly right.
It's funny. Like I tell my kids, I'm 100. Well, I'm always right 50% of the time. So
yep. That's true.
Anyway.
That's a dad joke. No, things dad say.
Yeah. All right. So we're gonna do some pick 'em. We're gonna share our picks with you all, and we're gonna keep track via ESPN. And what I'm gonna do is bring up our screen here, and we're gonna quickly make our picks hurt. You ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
All right. All right. Let's do this. Let's start with our first matchup.
Kansas City.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I would have picked him.
I got that right.
Yeah, I would have picked them anyway. All right. Seahawks at the Falcons. The Seahawks are favorite. Who you got, Hurt?
Seahawks.
I'm picking the Seahawks too, man. I'm picking my man Russ going up against Matty Ryan and Hayden Hurst. I think Atlanta's going to be a little bit better, but I'm going Seattle, man. I got them going to the Super Bowl this year anyway. So the New York Jets at the Buffalo Bills, a divisional rival. The Buffalo Bills are heavily favored this game. Who you got, Hurt?
Buffalo.
I hate it when we agree.
Dude, we're going to agree on most of these games today, except for maybe.
I know. I think there's a couple we're not going to agree on.
Yeah. Well, because it's us. Yeah, definitely. But there's going to be a bunch that we agree on because it's just so overwhelming to one team.
Yeah. All right, next on the list, we got the Bears at Detroit Lions. Who you got, man?
Lions.
Well, we don't agree on this one. I am going with the Chicago Bears.
I know, because you hate Matt Stafford. I don't know why you like Mitchell better than Matt, but just due to Mitchell being Mitchell, I'm gonna go with Matt here.
All right. Okay. Cleveland Browns at Baltimore.
Baltimore.
This one makes me nervous, Hurt, but I got to go with my Ravens. So
Baltimore.
All right. The Green Bay Packers at Vikings. Who you got?
Well, everybody knows who I'm going to pick here. So it's going to be Green Bay.
And once again, we disagree. I am going with the Vikings.
Yeah. Now, it's tough for me because, Dalvin is on the Vikings. So I do root for Dalvin. But, A-Rod is A-Rod. And we'll see. And no one's talking about Green Bay at all this year. So it's way better than, all the hoopla last season. But,
all right.
Go ahead.
All right, next on the list, we have the Colts at Jacksonville.
Colts.
Phillip Rivers makes his debut. Who you got?
Colts.
Yeah, I mean, Jacksonville's trying to tank.
Jacksonville ain't got no one. They got rid of everybody.
Well, they got the Constant Gardner. That's about it. But
yeah.
All right, we got the Las Vegas Raiders at Carolina.
See, this is a tough game due to me the whole East Coast West Coast thing, and West Coast teams struggle. Coming over to the East. I know the Raiders have a better team, but I'm picking Carolina here.
I'm with you. I'm going with the Panthers at home, even though the Raiders are heavily favored.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Because I think they have a better squad, but I just said that East Coast, West Coast thing.
Yeah.
All right. And now, the Rudy Dan special.
Yes.
Patriots at home to the Dolphins. What say you, sir?
Well, the last time we saw the Dolphins at the Patriots, it was a major upset.
Yes, it was.
And Ryan Fitzpatrick, I forgot who he hit on that last second touchdown for them to win. But anyway, they're not scared to go up in New England. Yeah, they're not scared. They got better defense. They got Van Noy. You know what I mean? They got Jordan Howard on offense. They got Fitzpatrick. Yeah, they got Matt Breida. They got Fitzmagic. But you know who New England had got?
Brian Hoyer?
No, they got Cam, but they got Bill Belichick.
Yes, they did.
And oh boy, that's not good. I'm going with the Patriots.
All right, Patriots as well.
All right.
It's closer than the experts think.
Yeah. All right. Your team hurt.
I like the fact that it's just Washington. There's no other name
Yeah,
behind it.
it's just Washington, right. Not
Um,
football
yeah.
club. It's just
No, and they're playing at home to the Eagles, and the Eagles are going to win this game.
Yep.
I know Miles, whatever their running back is out for this game.
Miles Sanders.
Yeah, Miles Sanders is out, but I still believe that they're going to come through and win this game.
Yeah, well, Boston Scott, he's no slouch, man. You know, he did well when he had the feeling for Miles last year. So,
yeah.
All right, we have the LA Chargers at the Bengals.
Man, Joe Burrow at home. Chargers with your boy Tyrod. I'm going to go with the Chargers. I think it's going to be close though, but I'm going to go with the Chargers.
I'm actually going to go with the Bengals.
Okay, yeah, I was close to picking the Bengals, but I just feel like it's too much for his first game. And, Mixon, unless Mixon can get some room in there, I still think it's going to be a close game. I think this might be like a field goal game.
Yeah, I just think the Bengals, they're terrible on defense, but they have a lot of offensive weapons, man. And I like Joe, so I'm gonna go with them. We got the Tampa Bay Buccaneers versus the New Orleans Saints. Who you got? It's in New Orleans hurt. Who you got?
Listen, they ain't gonna be who that. They're gonna be them Saints. They ain't nobody gonna be there. No who that's, no who nothing. But all they need is Drew Brees and Kamara and Michael Thomas, and New Orleans is winning this game.
Yes, they are. Sorry, Tommy, but yeah.
Sorry, Tommy. Oh, I'm sorry. Sorry, Tommy. It's no longer Tommy. So, yeah, I think Tommy's going to do well. But listen, not today. Not today. All right. We got the Super Bowl participants of last season, the San Francisco 49ers, up against newly DeAndre Hopkins, Arizona Cardinals. Who you got?
Yeah, you know what? I'm going to go with the Cardinals. I mean, the 49ers. I was close to taking the Cardinals, but I want to take the. Nah.
Yeah, again, I think this is going to be one of those things where teams who stayed together and didn't not too many adding of the free agents and stuff like that who know the game plan is going to be easier for them. And I just think the 49ers are going to grind out and win this game.
Yeah.
I think because, not having any scrimmages and all that other stuff does hurt the whole not scrimmages, but preseason games of cohesiveness of people. But I just think San Francisco's defense is just too tough.
All right. Your favorite game of the week, the Cowboys versus the Rams. Who you got, man?
Rams.
I'm taking the Cowboys on this.
Yeah. Well, as this goes along, I'm always going to usually pick against them. But I'm picking the Rams because I feel like the Rams are going to have a better season for some unknown reason.
Okay. Well, like I've said, I think Dak's going to be MVP this year, so I'm on that.
And the thing, and also crazy thing is, if we have that expanded playoff last year,
they would have made it.
They would have made it, and no one would have even known that they actually had a good enough record to almost be in the playoffs.
If they had beat Philly in Philly or beat Buffalo at home, they would have made it.
Yeah, or if Dallas beat Philly, they would have been in the playoffs too.
That's what I said.
Oh, I was talking about the Rams.
No, I'm talking about Dallas.
Oh, yeah, I was talking about the Rams. Sorry.
All right, sorry about that.
I'll blank out after, So, all right, your favorite team.
Ugh.
The Pittsburgh Steelers playing on the road Monday Night Football against the football New York Giants.
Don't get me wrong. I like Danny Dimes, and I think he's going to have a really good year this year, but that Steelers defense is no joke. I'm picking the Steelers as much as I hate to do so.
Yeah, Steelers.
And lastly, the Tennessee Titans. Ugh, man, I hate those guys. Versus the Denver Broncos. Drew Lock versus Ryan Tannehill. Derrick Henry versus Melvin Gordon and Phillip Lindsay. Who you got, man?
I got Tennessee.
Yeah, I'm going to pick Tennessee, man. I think that Von Miller injury is going to be a big blow to them, but I am curious to see how Drew Lock looks. So
yeah. I think he's going to be the guy for them. I really do. I really look forward to watching that late game Monday night for the first half before I fall asleep.
All right. Did you submit your picks, Hurt?
Yes, I did. They are already submitted, and they will not be edited. They will stay the same.
All right, cool, man.
So, cool. Yeah, so we'll see how this works out for as far as the season goes. See how much I dominate by. It's going to be awesome. At least it'll be on record this time. I can't just say it. It'll actually be there for people to see. So that's awesome.
Speaking of domination, hopefully we'll get our DraftKings thing going this year. As soon as I'm let back into my account, I will we'll start that back up.
Yes, then that'd be fun. And maybe other people could join along. I know we had a couple people. The more the merrier, right?
Yeah, heck yeah.
So, but thank you everybody for tuning in. It's the NYMD podcast. Of course, we're a StreamYard. Find us on YouTube. Give us some likes. Give us a follow. Really appreciate it because it's almost like our whole second full year.
Yeah.
NYMD podcast. I was looking at old pictures from October 2018 of us being in the studio.
Oh yeah.
And I was like, man, 2018. It's almost October 2020. So yeah, the NYMD podcast has been here and is going to be here. So thank you everybody who has supported us. Again, we're also on Facebook, on IG, and on the Twitter, NYMD podcast. And of course, if you'd like to listen to the audio version, which of course is up and running, you can listen to us on iTunes, Apple, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Stitcher, Spreaker apps, wherever you listen to podcasts, you will find NYMD podcast. And thank you, everyone. Have a great week. Be safe, please. Wear your masks, and we will see you next week.
Peace, y'all. Go Ravens. Go Orioles.
Yeah, HTTF.